We've sailed on Carnival Cruise Line and Royal Caribbean extensively, and here's the surprising truth. There's no best cruise line, but there's definitely a wrong one for you. In this video, we're breaking down the food, ships, entertainment, cabins, and more to help you figure out which cruise line actually fits your travel style and which one you should probably avoid to ensure your next cruise is smooth sailing. Up next. Welcome aboard. I'm Don B from Eat, Sleep, Cruise, and ask the average person to name the first two cruise lines that come to mind, and they're likely to say Royal Caribbean International and Carnival Cruise Line. These two mainstream cruise industry powerhouses are very well known, even to people who have never set foot on a cruise ship. Now let's start with the ships themselves. There is actually a lot of similarities between Carnival and Royal Caribbean ships. Each fleet offers a wide range of options, from smaller, older vessels to the newest and largest hardware afloat. Both lines sail what the industry refers to as megaships, which carry at minimum around 2,000 people on the smallest vessels and more than 7,600 passengers at maximum capacity on their largest ships. Some of these ships are so big that they're divided into themed areas, called neighborhoods on Royal Caribbean ships and zones on Carnival vessels. Of all the cruise lines, these two are also among the most mainstream. That means the basics are included in your cruise fare, like meals in the buffet and main dining room, iced water, iced tea, lemonade, most entertainment, and your accommodations. Extras like Wi-Fi, specialty beverages, alternative dining, spa treatments, casino play, shore excursions, and alcohol will cost you more. Because both lines are lively and energetic, they're not the best choice for people who prefer peace and quiet or who are hoping to visit small, out-of-the-way ports. At the smaller end of the spectrum, Carnival's smallest ships carry just over 2,100 passengers at double occupancy, while Royal Caribbean's smallest ship holds just under 2,000. These ships tend to feel more traditional and easier to navigate, with fewer attractions but a calmer onboard atmosphere. At the opposite end, Royal Caribbean operates the largest cruise ships in the world, including Icon of the Seas and Star of the Seas, which measure nearly 250,000 gross tons. Carnival's largest ships, like Mardi Gras, Celebration, and Jubilee, are smaller by comparison but still massive, carrying more than 5,300 passengers at double occupancy. What this really means for cruisers is that both lines offer a wide range of ship sizes, and your experience can vary significantly depending on which ship you choose, not just which cruise line you sail with. Overall, when it comes to fleet variety and ship size options, Royal Caribbean and Carnival are very evenly matched. Now, regardless of which cruise line you choose, planning your next cruise can be overwhelming. Trust us, we've made plenty of mistakes over the years, so you don't have to. That's why we put together a free cruise planning guide with everything we wish we knew before our first trip. It's full of the insider hacks and tips the cruise lines don't want you to know, plus printable packing guides and planning checklists so you can stay one step ahead of everyone else on board. So scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description and we'll send you this free planning guide straight to your inbox, and you can save hundreds on your next cruise. Before we get into food, entertainment, or cabins, this is one of the most important parts of the comparison. Because while Carnival and Royal Caribbean are both mainstream cruise lines, they tend to attract slightly different types of cruisers, and that difference can have a big impact on how much you enjoy your trip. Both cruise lines are casual, approachable, and great for families, couples, and groups of friends. You don't need to dress up all the time, and the overall vibe on board is relaxed. That said, Carnival is known for having a more unpretentious, drink-in-hand, come-as-you-are atmosphere. It tends to appeal to cruisers who want a fun, lively environment without feeling like they need to plan every minute of their day. Royal Caribbean, on the other hand, is often the better fit for people who like to stay active or crave adrenaline. Its ships are packed with attractions like rock climbing walls, zip lines, ice skating rinks, surf simulators, and skydiving simulators, which naturally draw cruisers who want more to do on board. Both lines attract people from all walks of life and offer a wide range of cabin options, from budget-friendly inside staterooms to high-end suites that are a major splurge. In general, you'll find passengers on both Carnival and Royal Caribbean who are looking for affordable getaways where the logistics are handled, whether they're cruising as families, couples, or friend groups. What this really comes down to is less about age or demographics, and more about how you like to spend your time on vacation. And that difference in cruising style shows up very clearly in one of the most important parts of any cruise experience, the food. If food is important to you, and for many cruisers it is, this is one area where Carnival pulls ahead. Both Royal Caribbean and Carnival include casual buffet dining and access to waiter-served main dining rooms in their fares. Menus change daily in the main dining room on both lines, and both offer flexible dining with options that work well for picky eaters. Neither line strictly enforces formal night dress codes. Both cruise lines also offer free pizza and poolside burgers, but Carnival's included options tend to stand out more. A great example is Guy's Burger Joint, which is available on most Carnival ships and consistently ranks as one of the best complimentary burgers at sea. When it comes to specialty dining, both lines offer steakhouses, Italian restaurants, Asian cuisine, Mexican fare, seafood venues, barbecue, cafes, and brunch options. For example, Carnival ships feature Fahrenheit 555 Steakhouse and Cucina del Capitano, while Royal Caribbean offers Chops Grill and Giovanni's Italian Kitchen on several of its ships. The key difference is value. Carnival includes more dining venues in the cruise fare, while Royal Caribbean has continued to add more restaurants that come with an extra charge. On many Royal Caribbean ships, only about half of the dining venues are included in the base fare. Royal Caribbean does offer unique specialty concepts like Wonderland and interactive dining experiences on newer ships. However, for overall quality, consistency, and the number of good included options, Carnival comes out ahead. For that reason, Carnival wins this category. When it comes to drinks, Royal Caribbean and Carnival are closely matched, but they do shine in different ways. Royal Caribbean tends to develop trendy, tech-forward, or even gimmicky bars, like the Rising Tide bar, which levitates, and the Bionic bar, where robot bartenders serve guests. There are also themed venues like the Pesky Parrot, where a rude mechanical bird lords over the bar. Carnival seems to focus more on making its drinks innovative. You might find color-changing cocktails or mixed drinks adorned with smoke bubbles, blacklight-sensitive secret messages, or odd garnishes like Swedish fish. Carnival also has its own Thirsty Frog beer brand, with some brewed on board its newest ships. Both lines have familiar bar concepts that appear across multiple ships, like Royal Caribbean's nautically themed schooner bar and Carnival's piano bar or science-themed alchemy bar. Per drink prices are comparable, and both lines offer a soda package, a non-alcoholic beverage package, and an alcohol package. Prices vary by sailing length and are per person, per day, for the duration of the voyage. A key difference: Carnival's Cheers alcohol package has a 15-drink limit per day, while Royal Caribbean's deluxe beverage package has no limit, although crew on both lines can cut guests off if necessary. Because Carnival wins for creative cocktails and an onboard brewery, Royal Caribbean wins for innovative bar concepts and its unlimited package structure. So in this category, we're going to give the cruise lines a tie. Cabins on older ships from both lines can look a bit dated, even with refurbishments, while newer ships tend to feature a more modern style with neutral woods and subtle pops of color. Even the most basic cabins on both lines include at least a queen bed that can convert into 2 twins, storage space, and a private bathroom. Room layouts and bathroom features vary by ship and cabin category. Both lines offer insides, ocean views, balconies, and suites. Carnival is known for having some of the most generously sized standard cabins in the industry. Carnival also offers special cabin types like Havana rooms, some with patio-style balcony access leading directly to a public deck, plus exclusive access to a private bar and pool. Family Harbor staterooms sit in a dedicated area and come with access to a family lounge with games, movies, snacks, and soft drinks. Royal Caribbean offers a huge range of stateroom variety, including inward-facing balconies and ocean view rooms that overlook the Royal Promenade, plus cabins facing the boardwalk and Central Park. Royal Caribbean also offers studio cabins for solo travelers, plus features like virtual balconies and infinite balconies on newer ships. At the high end, Royal Caribbean standout accommodations include the Ultimate Family Suite, a 2-deck suite with separate spaces for parents and kids, and a slide from the kids' bedroom to the living room. Icon-class ships also feature the ultimate family townhouse and other two-level options like loft suites. Some of these suites include Royal Genie service and added perks like priority boarding, premium amenities, included Wi-Fi, drinks, gratuities, and access to exclusive areas. Both lines offer connecting cabins and accessible staterooms across categories. Cabin stewards service rooms daily, often with extra touches like towel animals. Carnival wins on cabin size, but Royal Caribbean's variety and suite perks are unmatched, making Royal Caribbean the winner in this category. This is where the two cruise lines diverge the most, and where Royal Caribbean clearly dominates overall. Both lines offer a lot of the standard daytime and evening programming. You'll find trivia, towel folding demonstrations, pool deck competitions, dance classes, comedy shows, the Love and Marriage game show, and theme parties like glow parties and decade nights. Both also offer adult scavenger hunts, the Quest on Carnival and Crazy Quest on Royal Caribbean, which are popular late-night events. But the big differences show up in theater productions, specialty venues, and top deck attractions. Carnival's main theater production shows, called Playlist Productions, are created specifically for the line. They're fun and attention-grabbing, but they often have plots that are hard to follow. Royal Caribbean's theater offerings, on the other hand, include Broadway productions on several ships, with versions of Cats, Mamma Mia, Saturday Night Fever, Hairspray, and Grease. On Icon-class ships, Royal Caribbean also features The Wizard of Oz and Back to the Future, the musical. Royal Caribbean also has ice skating rinks on several ships, with professional ice shows and time for passengers to skate themselves. Another major differentiator is Royal Caribbean's AquaTheater shows, high diving, dance, and acrobatic performances that often take place outdoors with the ship's wake in the background. On Icon-class ships, the AquaTheater is housed under a massive glass dome. These shows can include unexpected elements like juggling, trampoline and slackline stunts, synchronized swimming, and even tightrope walking, alongside impressive diving routines. Carnival has innovated with acrobatic shows on newer ships held in a secondary theater that faces the sea on one side of the vessel, which is a cool concept, but overall, Royal Caribbean's signature venues and production scale still come out ahead. Carnival gets credit for being the first cruise line with a roller coaster at sea. Bolt sends riders around a track that rings the upper decks of select ships. It's cutting edge, but passengers have to pay extra to ride. Royal Caribbean is the first and only cruise line to feature surfing and skydiving simulators at sea, along with suspended infinity pools. Royal Caribbean also pioneered major attractions like carousels, zip lines, and dry slides that drop 10 decks, which other lines later adopted. Add in massive water parks with thrilling water slides, multiple pools, miniature golf, rock climbing walls, and sports courts like basketball and pickleball. And importantly, many of these attractions are included, and Royal Caribbean has a clear advantage. Because of its show quality, signature venues, and the scale of included attractions, Royal Caribbean wins this category. When it comes to organized kids clubs, Carnival's Camp Ocean and Royal Caribbean's Adventure Ocean are similar in structure and age breakdown. Both lines offer multiple age groups, dedicated tween and teen hangout spaces, and supervised programming like crafts, games, scavenger hunts, sports competitions, and video game tournaments. Both lines also offer for-fee babysitting or late-night care options from about 6 months old, and late-night programming for kids up to 11 for an hourly fee. Where Royal Caribbean tends to stand out is in the dedicated spaces on larger ships, such as mini theaters where kids can perform, and science lab-style rooms that allow for a wider variety of activities and experiments. Carnival's standout is its partnership with Dr. Seuss, which can include character appearances, promenade parades, and themed breakfasts and brunches, though those special meals come with an added fee. Outside the kids' clubs, both lines also offer family-friendly attractions like water parks and arcades. Royal Caribbean's rock climbing walls and surf simulators are big hits with kids, while Carnival's Sky Ride and Bolt roller coaster are popular too. Royal Caribbean also offers laser tag and escape rooms on some ships, which Carnival does not. Overall, both cruise lines are very evenly matched for kids and families, making this category a tie. Both cruise lines have a major presence in North America, especially in Florida, and both offer many itineraries to the Caribbean and Bahamas, as well as Bermuda. Both also sail to Canada and New England, offer Caribbean and Mexican Riviera sailings from Galveston, and operate Alaska cruises from ports like Seattle and Vancouver. Both lines offer Panama Canal cruises occasionally as ships reposition, and both have ships based in Australia and New Zealand, with sailings in that region and to Pacific Islands. Both lines sail Europe, but Carnival tends to operate longer transatlantic crossings when it goes there, while Royal Caribbean more often offers week-long cruises with ships based in Europe. In general, Royal Caribbean covers more of the globe, with ships operating in places like Asia and the Middle East when it's safe. Both cruise lines offer longer voyages, and at the time of recording this video, each had slightly more than a dozen sailings of 15 nights or longer scheduled. Carnival, however, had 2.5 times as many 10 to 14 night voyages as Royal Caribbean. Both have also started putting newer ships on shorter 3 to 5 night itineraries, meaning you don't necessarily have to give up the newest hardware to take a shorter cruise. Carnival's private destinations include Half Moon Cay and Celebration Key. Royal Caribbean's private destinations include Perfect Day at Coco Cay and Labadee, along with Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, plus several announced or upcoming locations. Royal Beach Club Cozumel, opening in 2026. Royal Beach Club Santorini, opening in 2026. Perfect Day Mexico, opening in 2027. And La Lepa in Vanuatu, opening in 2027. Because of its broader global reach and larger private destination portfolio, Royal Caribbean wins this category. Pricing depends heavily on itinerary, ship, and sailing length. Generally, Carnival tends to be cheaper for Caribbean and Bahamas cruises from Florida. However, Carnival's pricing can exceed Royal Caribbean's in destinations like Alaska, on sailings from the West Coast, and on Mexico cruises departing from Galveston. It's harder to compare pricing in places like Europe and Hawaii because the lines don't always offer comparable itineraries, but broken down by per night cost, fares are roughly equal in Hawaii. In Europe, Carnival's average per night fares tend to be lower, likely because Carnival often does longer transatlantic itineraries with fewer ports. Both cruise lines charge more for cabins on their newest ships than they do for older ships. As we already mentioned, pricing does depend on several factors, but overall, Royal Caribbean does have a higher price tag than Carnival Cruise Line when comparing similar ships on similar itineraries of the same length. When you compare Royal Caribbean and Carnival side by side, there are several areas like fleet size, bars and drinks, pricing, kids clubs, where the two lines are fairly evenly matched. Where Carnival really shines is its food, value, and overall vibe. Carnival cruises tend to offer some of the lowest prices in the industry, and you get a lot included for that price. The line is known for consistently good food across both included and specialty venues, along with a fun, laid-back atmosphere that feels social and unpretentious. Entertainment on Carnival leans towards comedy shows, deck parties, live music, and high-energy shows that are easy to enjoy without a lot of planning. Royal Caribbean, on the other hand, stands out for scale and variety when it comes to onboard entertainment and attractions. Ships offer Broadway-style theater shows, AquaTheater and ice skating shows, and a wide range of onboard activities like rock climbing walls, surf simulators, skydiving simulators, water parks, and sports courts, many of which are included in the fare. The overall experience feels more like a floating resort with something happening in nearly every corner of the ship. Neither approach is better for everyone. In the end, there is truly no single best cruise line, only one that fits how you like to vacation. Now that you're armed with all this information, we're bet you're ready to choose your next best cruise. And to ensure you get the best deal possible, the cruise experts at MEI Travel are here to help. We love working with our personal cruise consultant Blair, who navigates all the options to find the ideal cruise line, ship, and itinerary, while always making sure we get the best available price and helps us take advantage of any promotions or inclusions. And there's never a fee to book with MEI Travel. So scan the QR code on screen now or click our exclusive link down in the description to get your free, no obligation quote. And of course, we have plenty of other great cruise tips and tricks videos right here on YouTube to help you stay one step ahead of everyone else on board.